I guess we're streaming. Welcome back to Warm Springs Memoir. These are our bonus casts. They're short little snippets about FDR and a few of his activities in Georgia. And this one covers part of his farming. He had a high interest in longleaf pine tree farms. And in the late 1920s, before he became governor, he purchased the properties in Pine Mountain, or on Pine Mountain in Meriwether County near Warm Springs, to create a farm that could be used as a demonstration project. His goal was to show local farmers that you could make a profit by producing goods other than corn or cotton. And he planted longleaf pines, and it influenced landowners for years, and it's still a crop down here. His efforts at his farm improved herds of cattle for the local area ranchers. They could use FDR's bulls for breeding. His interest in agriculture when he became president would spread through the AAA, or Agricultural Adjustment Act, Farm Credit Administration, the Resettlement Administration, the Farm Security Administration, the Civilian Conservation Corps, and a lot of his farming programs aided millions of Americans hurt by the Great Depression. FDR's farm, this is the historic marker. It's on top of the farm, about 3 miles from the Little White House, and it was put there, I believe, in 1959. I'm not sure the exact date. Now, over 2,200 acres atop Pine Mountain, it says, were purchased between 1926 and 1937 by Franklin D. Roosevelt. Some 150 acres, which were pasture and cropland, the rest in pine and hardwoods. The farm was operated on a self-sustaining basis, pardon me, I don't have my glasses, by adherence to methods consonant with the practical farming methods of the day. Well, I won't read all that to you because there ain't nothing boring than sitting here listening to me talk about that. But no, you can look up the Georgia historical markers online, and it'll provide a map of all the markers in Georgia. And of course, the Roosevelt Farm is one of those. Move that out of the way. There's another marker placed up there for the longleaf pine planting up on Highway 190, and it reads, in part, in the early years, Franklin D. Roosevelt's sojourn in Meriwether County, he observed that no great effort had been made to replace trees on cut over or burnt areas not suitable for agriculture. As a demonstration or replacement, together with the erosion and watershed control, he devoted a little over 5 acres of his farm to the planting of 5,000 longleaf pine seedlings in the winter season of 1929 and 30. And these plantings were made part of the these plantings were made in the area immediately south of this marker. And a tornado in 1954 destroyed about half of the original stand. Let me show you some of the damage from it, because they were going to replant. But you can see where trees have been snapped in half, pulled over. And this photograph here reads, looking west from Roosevelt pine planting, showing areas to be cleared and planted in pines. This was later on that year in December of 1954. So they went back to planting pine trees. And here is Otis Moore on the right and Ed Doyle on the left, and at some of the pines that Roosevelt planted back in 1930. Nice picture. You wouldn't recognize that as Pine Mountain today. And here's a map of Roosevelt's farms, a partial map anyway, but just of interest. There's a kudzu farm on your far right side there, a blank. It says 22 acres of kudzu. So yes, thank you, President Roosevelt, for filling our highways and backyards with this wonderful vine. I hope you enjoyed this little bitty snippet. This, would call it a bonus cast. I'll come out with a few of these every now and then. And again, this was on FDR and farming in Georgia and his longleaf pines. And of course, the Little White House, if you go there, it's made of longleaf pine. And one interesting feature about that, there you might find two knots in the whole house because it was made from heart pine. So it's a very rare wood today. But my name's David Burke. This is a Warm Springs Memoir, and thank you for watching.